Greetings.
Hi guys, this is a continuation of the guided playthrough for a physical Bowazon. Here on screen, you can see a Bowazon that just finished Act 1. We'll take this video all the way to the end of Act 2 and kill Daryl.
I know. It is an honor to serve you.
At the start of Act 2, I do a couple of things here. I prep my stealth and my 3-tailed bow. I stock up on some potions and then get an Act 2 prayer mercenary.
I bet. Greetings.
I can't carry anymore.
I'll put that to good use.
And finally, I get my mercenary any weapon and then set the player's difficulty to 3 before heading out of town. So in Act 2, we need to go to 3 different areas in the first half of the act. The first of them is Dry Hills, which leads into Halls of the Dead so that we can get the Heraldric Cube. The second is Far Oasis, which leads into the Maggot Lair so that we can get the Staff of Kings. And the last one is the Lost City, which leads into the Claw Viper Temple so that we can get the Viper Amulet. We don't have to do these 3 things in order. For example, if we're in the Dry Hills and find the Far Oasis exit before the Waypoint or Halls of the Dead, we can actually chuck a TP down at the Dry Hills exit and then continue into the Far Oasis to find a waypoint there. Once we do, we can take a TP back down into the Dry Hills and then find the Halls of the Dead. We can repeat this technique to find the optimal routing for our playthrough. As always, with experience, we want to focus on minion packs and champion packs, but we also want to kill beetles as well, as they provide some good experience. For leveling, our goal is to reach level 17 before we hit the Maggot Lair, and level 19, level 20 before we finish the act. For the map generation of Act 2, you'll find the exits at the corners of the map where the map doesn't indent with the walls. Okay, we got lucky here and found the exit towards Dry Hills relatively quickly. Okay, we find Halls of the Dead pretty quickly as well, so we'll pop a TP down just in case we find the waypoint later so that we can quickly come back to it. And just now as well, we just hit level 17, so that allows us to use stealth and the 3-tailed bow. These 2 items will allow us to both run quicker and kill things a lot faster. Because of this, we'll set the player's difficulty to 8 so that we can gain experience faster. And we also got another Turun as well when we leveled up, so that's pretty sweet. I'll put a point into Cold Arrow so that next level, level 18, we can get Guided Arrow. This is part of the run where it starts getting fun, as we can use multi-shot to apply poison to multiple enemies at once and watch them drop like flies. So from here, we either want to find a waypoint or the exit towards Far Oasis. So the reason why we're doing this, instead of going straight down into Halls of the Dead straight away, is because if we climb down, get the cube, then we have to climb all the way back up again without being able to use a waypoint for either Dry Hills or Far Oasis. Okay, so we found the exit towards Far Oasis and didn't find the waypoint in Dry Hills, so we'll just keep going. And we find a maggot lair straight away. So this actually presents as a dilemma, because we've already got a TP up at Halls of the Dead, and we can't throw a second one up at the maggot lair, so we have to decide which one we want to keep, and then just continue on. In this case, I decide to keep the TP at Halls of the Dead and continue on. I'd have to find the next waypoint in Far Oasis, or maybe even a Lost City, and then run back to the maggot lair, but that's fine. Again, we're just continuing on, trying to kill stuff along the way. This is pretty easy with the 3-towered bow, as everything dies in one shot, even on players 8, so it's worth killing everything that you see. Okay, so we found the entrance to the Lost City, which is quite unfortunate because we haven't found a waypoint for quite a while, so hopefully we find one very soon. Thank goodness, we found a waypoint. And this one's not too far from the maggot lair as well, so that's great. Now, we'll head back down to TP and do Halls of the Dead. I set the player's difficulty back down to 1 because although things die in players 8, it still takes a while for them to die because it's poison damage. And in a place like Halls of the Dead, where there's a lot of narrow corridors, we don't want to get body blocked while the enemies die from poison.
I need mana. I need mana.
Okay, so now we've got the cube, we can head back to the Lost City. We also hit level 18 earlier, so I'll put my point into Guided Arrow. Guided Arrow is useful for Duril and other act bosses, as it's got the always hit property, and it also tracks targets, making kiting easier as well. Okay, now we're going to try to find the Claw Viper Temple. Just setting the player's difficulty back to 8 again. At this point, I remember that I still needed to imbue some boots. So I head back to town, make sure I've got some boots, and then head to Chassis and get those boots imbued. Alright, those boots are looking pretty good. I'm just going to pop a TP by the stairs here. This is just a small detail that I do, just in case I find a portal shrine while trying to find the exit towards the Valley of Snakes and Claw Viper Temple. We'll continue to find the Claw Viper Temple from here, once again just killing anything along the way. And finally, we've found it.
Thanks.
I set the player's difficulty back to 3 on approach to the Claw Viper Temple. This is again just to minimize the time I get blocked in corridors. In the Claw Viper Temple, you have the best chance of finding the exit to level 2 by turning left. This is because the exit for this particular map is based on coming from the southwest, and because the starting tile is exiting out to the southeast. So if you're heading towards the southeast and then you turn left, then you're approaching from the southwest. In this case though, I turn right and it's not really the ideal way to go, but a little bit down track, this is where I end up finding the exit. If you see a staircase going up a straight corridor like this, then there's a good chance you found the exit. Find and kill Fangskin and his minion pack here, just be a little bit careful. After that, head into the center, make a TP, grab the amulet and head back to town.
I need mana. Let there be light.
Good day.
Good day.
Now we'll go back to the Far Oasis and the Maggot Lair, which we found earlier. Just before entering the maggot lair, we'll set the player's difficulty back to 1. Maggot lair has a lot of narrow corridors, so leaving the player's difficulty at higher levels will just slow you down. In the maggot lair, you want to find an exit tile that turns right relative to the starting tile of your level. So my starting tile comes out to the bottom right. The exit tile for this level I want to be approaching from the top right. For clearing the maggot lair monsters, use tightly grouped multi-shot volleys so that the multi-shot arrows are tightly packed going down corridors. This will make your multi-shot volleys hit the monster in front as well as some monsters behind them. You'll have to wait until the monster dies in order to proceed forward. This is why we set the player's difficulty back to 1. Also, try to keep some distance from the beetles when they die. Otherwise, they can cause a lot of damage. This one took me a while to find as I wasn't following optimal map techniques, but you can see here that I'm approaching the exit from the top right, which is what I said earlier. So on level 2 we can see that the entrance goes out to the bottom left. So if we make a right turn from here, we'll have the best chance of finding the exit. And sure enough, we do. And finally for Maggot Lair level 3, you always want to go in a northeast direction to find the staff. Okay, we've found the staff, so let's just pick up the staff and make a TP and head out. So from here, we'll head straight into the palace. Just make sure you talk to Drognan at the top of town first to activate the quest. I've also increased the player's difficulty back up to 3 now that we're out of the Maggot Lair. In the palace, pick one of the entrances and then go from corner to corner on each level. You can use the exact movements I make if you like. On Palisella level 3, the exit's in the middle of the map, so if you've come this far by following my route, then you can continue to do so to find the path to the middle. As you start to approach the middle, you may or may not encounter the Fire Eye minion pack, which if you do, then kill the pack. If you don't, then you can continue to hunt around for him. You'll likely be in one of the adjacent rooms to the middle. In preparation for the Arcane Sanctuary, I set the player's difficulty back to 1. This is yet another area that has a lot of narrow corridors. In the Arcane Sanctuary, you've got 4 set paths that you can take. Let's call them the windy path, the jagged path, the straight path, and the teleport path. These paths are randomized in direction, and only one of these paths leads to the summoner and the way out to the Canyon of the Magi. So there's no knowing which path is the correct one, so I suggest doing the paths in the following order. The straight path, the teleport path, the jagged path, and the windy path. And basically get out of here as soon as you can. As you make your way forward, what you want to be doing at all times is clearing the path ahead of you. Do this by periodically shooting multi-shot ahead of you. This way you can hit monsters off screen and then they can be poisoned and die. As soon as you notice your path doesn't lead to the summoner when you get to the end, just create a TP and then head back to the Arcane Sanctuary waypoint. Repeat this step until you find the summoner. Okay, no summoner, so we'll head back to town and go to the waypoint.
How may I help you?
Okay, on the third attempt, I mistake a windy path for a jagged path, but I still don't turn around here as that could lose myself time. Okay, no summoner, so we'll head back to town and go to the waypoint.
Greetings.
So straight ahead from here, we're surely to find a summoner up ahead, as we've already eliminated the 3 other paths. So kill a summoner, run up ahead, and go through the portal. Once on the other side, get the waypoint and then open up the quest log to find the true symbol of the Tal Rasha Tomb. Once you find the symbol, then go and find one of the 7 Tal Rasha Tombs that coincides with the symbol based on what's shown on screen. For the remainder of the act, we'll stick to Plays 1 difficulty, as we're about to enter yet another area with tight corridors. In Tal Rasha's tomb, you want to find an exit that turns to the left of your entrance, but with the tile that I've got, it's not obvious which way my starting tile is pointing. And Tal Rasha's tomb is a big map, so you're really right to go in any direction from here.
Good day.
Good day.
Yes, citizen.
I can't carry anymore.
Hello.
Greetings. Allow me to advise you.
Good evening.
I can't carry anymore.
And finally we found it. For Duriel, he's not the easiest fight and you're going to need to consume some potions, so make sure you stock up.
Hello.
Just before entering Duriel's chamber, chuck down some thawing potions. This should improve your cold resistance and take less damage from Duriel. When you pop inside his chamber, shoot him with guided arrow and then run around. Keep applying the poison to him until he's dead. When Duriel's just about to die, try and line yourself up to what would be the top left exit of the chamber, so you can get yourself out of there slightly quicker. Once you're out of there, head to the next room and take the TP back that opens up.
Hello.
This is not
Once in
good.
town, head straight to
This
Geralt, which is
madness
near the
never
palace.
end.
At this point, revive your Mercia. Once you finish talking to him, for a quick shortcut, head into the palace, create a TP, and then go through it. This shortcut will teleport you straight to Mashif, where you can exit the act. On that note, that will do it for this video. In the next video, we'll complete Act 3 and kill Mephisto. Hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video and want to see more Bowazon content. I'll see you guys in the next video.